All right, well, I was gonna do, a video about the common household Bigfoot, and researching that kind of found something a little bit more interesting. It's called the Augerino. It's a giant subterranean worm. It bores giant corkscrew holes in the dirt. Pretty crazy. This creature gets its name from the auger. I don't know if you've seen that before. It's kind of like a little, squirrely little screw-looking thing. Anyways, the Augerino was first noticed in Middle Park, Colorado in the 1940s when farmers and lumberjacks noticed that their irrigation and dams were drying up. Massive corkscrew holes were found lined in silica, which somehow kept it from collapsing, I guess. The Augerino is said to create massive underground networks of caves that spread all over the West. I feel like this might be a cop-out for just caves in general. I think people might see a cave and be like, oh, a giant worm must have been through here. I guess that's the really only logical solution. But there was an investigation done in Middle Park, Colorado in 1941, where residents were interviewed about the mythological Augerino. The residents said it was worm-like, indestructible, and corkscrew in shape. They also noticed that it needed a dry environment, hence why it drained all the irrigation canals and all that stuff. One resident remarked, "Hell, the ditches still leak, don't they?" Which I think means that these farmers were having some irrigation issues, maybe. It was a farm town after all, so maybe they were just having an issue holding some water. Colorado is known for having sinkholes and large cave systems. It's possible that the water drained into underground reservoirs from which the local population coined this monster. Also, some cave formations like flowstone look a lot like gooey lining left behind from some monster. Maybe the residents of Middle Park mistook these formations for silica of the Augerino. Another theory is that the inhabitants of Colorado dug up fossils that looked a lot like the Augerino. It's possible that someone dug up one of these Lexospira shells and exaggerated the size of them, which led to an interesting game of telephone. And just out of curiosity, I did some research on the largest worm ever found. There was a worm in South Africa that was 21 feet in length, but it was only 0.8 of an inch in diameter, so it was a thin, long boy, just kind of like me. Either way, this giant worm is a mystery. It's unknown whether or not this creature is just out there worming beneath our feet. Let's just hope we don't accidentally stumble into one of these indestructible wormies while exploring caves. And that's the story of the legendary Augerino, not to be confused with the DiGiorno, the pizza monster.